Hello friends! There has been so much that has been happening in my life recently, and I am excited to give you the full scoop. This autumn has been so busy, and it has just been very hard to be in that creator mindset. So I hope that today you enjoyed today's video. It's just going to be a bunch of my favorite moments from the last month. Especially all my favorite moments that feel like fall and autumn and that have just felt like the cozy season. I have just been so soaking in autumn, and so this video is going to be a ton of those cozy autumnal moments. Another huge change recently has been that I bought 5 pigs. Yes. I bought myself 5 little piglets, and they are so stinking cute, and they are currently being kept at my grandparents' farm. They have 15 acres, and they live about 15 minutes away from me, and so they have allowed me to keep my little piglets at their house, and they are going to be raised for butcher. And yes, this clip is me getting peed on by a piglet. I feel like that's just rite of passage for becoming a pig farmer, apparently. So the purpose behind these pigs is that they will be raised for meat, and I'm hoping to raise really good quality meat. You guys have heard me talk about this on this channel before, that I really value good quality meat and animals being raised right and in a healthy and happy environment. And I love supporting small farms, and so this just felt so right and natural for me to start raising my own meat. And I definitely had to think of a creative way, since I don't have any property that I live on to be able to raise my own animals. And so it was so nice that I was able to raise these pigs at my grandparents' house. I have it set up where I have a big feeder that I can just come over once a week and fill up the pig feeder and fill up the water, and it lasts all throughout the week. And I come over once, sometimes more than that, usually more than that, to clean up their pen and put down fresh straw and shavings so that they have a clean and warm place to lay. I now fully understand the benefit of owning a truck, because putting a bale of straw in your back seat is definitely a big mess, and I'm pretty sure this took 10 years off of my grandma's life. We have also been working so hard on the little cottage that I'll be moving into. We have been working on the flooring like crazy. We actually are finished with the flooring now. You'll get to see a little peek of it in this video, but it was so fun because pretty much all of the flooring I got to do with my mom. The first half we did together, and she showed me all of the complicated parts, and then the second half I got to do by myself, so I really feel like I got it down. And this clip is showing my dad and I putting the tongue and groove pine ceiling in, and this was very hard, but oh man, I learned so much, and I got to use a brad nailer and got to spend a lot of time on the top of a ladder, and it was just so good for me to spend that time using those tools. And my mom was our cutter, so we would measure, and then she would run and cut the boards, run them back, and then we would glue and brad nail all of the ceiling on while she was cutting. And this is a video of me laying in the grass, feeling very tired and very exhausted. This is also the faux beam that we put up on the very top of the ceiling. This is where all of the light fixtures are going to come through, and the fan is going to come through. And again, I just got to use the brad nailer, and I definitely feel like I look awkward using some of these tools because I'm definitely still learning. But hey, you know, awkward gets the job done. Okay? Something that's really been on my mind lately is over this last summer and really over this last year, I feel like so much of myself has changed and so much of my life has changed. And I have been doing so many new things, and so many of those things are things that I've dreamed of doing. Working with animals, learning how to build, learning how to work with my hands and slow down and get rid of the things that aren't actually adding to my life and my real value as a person. But something that's been interesting about that transition is I definitely have felt at times a loss of confidence in myself. I have felt awkward or uncomfortable, and I haven't felt like my best self always. And I feel like every time I've prayed about that, God has just been giving me this image of Him being the person that fills in the gaps, and Him being the person that gives me my confidence and my value, and that what we consider confidence isn't always what He considers confidence. And I want my confidence and my value to be in something that isn't about me looking like I know what I'm doing, looking like I am the best of the best, or being super confident or super independent, or always look effortless and easy and smooth. I think the reality of at least life for me is that I'm always going to be growing and learning and challenging myself and doing new things. So there's always going to be this underlying sense of discomfort or fumbliness or feeling like I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm learning that instead of wanting to hide and instead of feeling like I'm a total dork, I've tried to actually allow God to be my strength and allow God to be someone that I can actually lean on. And in order for me to lean on Him, that means that I have to be outside of my comfort zone, outside of the realm of things that I can do effortlessly. And I have to be fearless and be okay with people thinking that I don't always look smooth. I think in our world, a lot of our world has valued people saying the right thing or acting confident and charismatic and outgoing. And I think that's really not the majority of us. I think the majority of us have a little bit of clunkiness, have a little bit of social awkwardness, really don't feel like we know what we're doing, and learning to accept that in myself and learning to not let that be the measure of what makes me valuable or not has been such a benefit to me recently. Along with everyone else, I'm sure, I have been loving soups recently. I made this soup with all veggies that were from my garden this year, which felt so rewarding. I had frozen a bunch of cauliflower and onions and broccoli and all sorts of different zucchini and vegetables from my garden, and I threw all of them in there with a bunch of bone broth and Italian sausage from the pig that I had butchered recently, and I threw in some noodles, and it was so stinking good. Also, here's a clip of my spaghetti squash that I grew. I have had so much success recently with my spaghetti squashes. They have gotten so huge that they are honestly the size of a pumpkin. It's shocking. I also this week picked all of my green tomatoes off of my tomato bush because I didn't want them to get frostbitten and die. I'm sure you know this, but if you take them off the vine while they're green, and if you just set them out on the counter, they will ripen up in their own time. They'll still turn red and be delicious. So I picked all of them and brought them inside, and they'll be ripe hopefully in the next couple weeks. I really feel like things are starting to slow down. The cottage is almost done, and I should be able to move in within the next couple weeks. All of my little puppies are about to go to their new homes. They're all 8 weeks old right now and ready to go home. And my garden has officially wrapped up. This was my last harvest of the year, and we had a hard freeze, and so that is finished. So I can see the end in sight. I hope that you guys enjoy your fall and your autumn and enjoy the cozy season like I have been.